Hi guys and welcome to a new video. Today we're talking about the situation in Pokrovsk. Quite an unusual video. I never covered this before. But just wanna give you a brief overview of what's the situation there. And I'm gonna start by saying that this situation is actually worse than what the media wants you to think that it is. And of course, like in front of me now, I have the deep state map, which is a really pro-Ukrainian map. So the advancements that we get in here are like always around 2-3 days late. And just to make you an example, if you look at this bit, which is in the gray zone, uh, this this bit here, and also these gray zones here, these were captured like around 3 weeks ago. And for some reason, Deep State Map still doesn't want to admit that they were captured. And I don't know what they're waiting for, to be honest. Like, do they think that we are so stupid? Like, all maps, even other Ukrainian maps, have put this as red now, as Russian controlled. And for some reason, Deep State Map is waiting. And we know that Deep State Map it's directly controlled by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So, like, don't please use other maps. This is not how the situation is. Returning to Pokrovsk, there are sources that say, mainly pro-Russian sources now, and some neutral sources, that the Russian forces are advancing all over the area. That there are already Russian soldiers in the city of Dobropilya here. And Russians are advancing. Volomirivka is already under Russian control. Shakove, the Russians are attacking it. And Rodinske, the Russians are already in the middle of the city. While if you take a look at the map here, the Russians are not even, like, there is a gray zone around the city of Rodinske, but so far the Russians haven't entered. That's of course according to Deep State Map. But according to most sources, sorry guys. There we go. According to most sources now, the Russians are keeping advancing in this direction and this direction. Let me make the map bigger. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, that's basically how much the Russians advanced between the 11th and the 12th. Of course, that doesn't show the reality in this situation. And according to Deep State Map, the Russians advanced only 7 kilometers squared. 7.5, which is absolutely out of the reality of this situation. So Perfect. So that's how the Russians are advancing and keep advancing. And if Russia keeps advancing like that, I'm gonna show you also Divgen map, which is a pro-Russian map. According to them, this is the situation. When taking a pro-Russian map like Divgen and a pro-Ukrainian map like Deep State, the truth is always in the middle. But Russia has been advancing into the cities of Bilitsk and Dobropilya and Rodinske, and now, like, by seeing what's going on, Russia has mainly two options. One, they keep advancing on the outskirts of Pokrovsk and try to take control of um, the road, of this road that leads to it. And that was the first attempt. Yeah. They try to disrupt the logistics of the Ukrainians around here, so they cannot. So basically, even the road becomes useless. And two, they can try to advance through Udachne, and and actually Divgan reports that the Russians advance in Udachne. This is the second advance within a week. And to try to cut off this road, the M30 road, that leads to Pokrovsk. If they manage to do that, probably this road is already cut off. And even if it's not cut off physically, it's cut off by the fire control. Like Russia now has fire control over this road. And they can bomb any vehicles coming back and forth using FPV drones. But Russia still doesn't have full fire control over the M30 roads. And if Russia manages to establish even a partial fire control over this M30 roads, then the city of Pokrovsk, will be completely encircled. And for the Ukrainians, there will be there will be not be like a chance to leave the city anymore, and around 15,000 soldiers will be encircled. Actually, of course, Deep State didn't report the last advance in Udachne, but reported a really old advance. So there were a total of two advances in Udachne. This one, that's the first, and the second, which was reported only by Divgen at the moment. I'm gonna need to wait for more confirmation, but I think the advance was true. And yes, so Russia needs to take control of all the roads that lead to Pokrovsk, so the Ukrainians cannot escape anymore. I think that if Russia manages to capture these 15,000 soldiers, the war will be over. There will be no more manpower to defend the rest of Donetsk. And even if Ukraine doesn't surrender, the Ukrainian army will fall like a house of cards. because this 15, what's the most intelligent thing of Zelensky to do, which I don't think he will do because he's not intelligent at all. He doesn't have any military experience, and the Ukrainian generals, for some reason, uh, they don't really think of the health of their soldiers and the danger that they incur into. But the best thing to do is to retreat from Pokrovsk and then prepare a defensive line to defend the rest of the Donbass. Because if these 15,000 get captured, or if they try to escape in a non-controlled way, it's going to be a waste of manpower that Ukraine cannot afford. Once Pokrovsk is captured, because it's a really strategic city, we're gonna have Russia will start advancing even by 50 kilometers squared every day through the rest of Donetsk. Like, I predict that they will start advancing all here, and they will try to encircle Sloviansk and Kramatorsk. They will try to first also like conquer Konstantinivka, but then nothing will be left. They will try to advance all about here and then here, and they will completely encircle the city of Sloviansk and Kramatorsk, and that will be the end for the Donetsk region. And if Pokrovsk is captured quickly, that could happen at the beginning of 2026. So we're not gonna even have to wait for the summer of next year. So that was my analysis, my first analysis, to be honest. And hopefully you enjoyed the video, despite the lack of editing skills. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.